All right. Hey there. So I'm going to be doing an ACT model, but this is Stephanie, and she's going to be helping me out as my client. She's going to be 19. This is like an outpatient setting. Yeah, model client. There we go. So this is going to be, I'm thinking the second session. So the first session, I kind of just got to know her. I told her about confidentiality, that whole thing, and now I've decided on the treatment I want to talk about. So I guess ACT's view of the client's problem. So she's going to be presenting with like minor social anxiety, but it's enough that it's affecting her life. We are going to go into how ACT views this as something that's workable, even though she may not think it's workable, and she, is coming to, and she needs help, and just the goal is again to live a more purposeful and meaningful life, and we're going to be working on that. So, so ACT in a nutshell is what I'm going to be doing. So
quiet on the set.
Okay.
Action.
Hey Stephanie, how are you doing this week?
Pretty good. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so last week it was great getting to know you and to meet you and to talk about what's been going on. You had mentioned feeling anxious in kind of social settings.
Yeah.
And do you want to?
Well, this past weekend I went to the fair.
Okay.
The county fair, and it was going well for a couple hours, and then just there were so many people. It was like, I'm pretty sure they sold out of tickets because it was just, I felt like everyone was surrounding me, and they were stepping all like by my feet, and I have really sensitive feet, and so I didn't want anyone stepping on me. And I mean, if there was an accident, a fire, anything, I would have been hurt. I would have been screwed because there were so many people, and I just got so anxious and scared, and I just left. I didn't want to stay, and there was a concert that night, and I missed the concert, and all my friends said it was amazing, and I went home and stayed home and watched Netflix.
Was that hurtful for you in any way, or how did that feel when?
I mean, I don't want to miss out on those things. I love being at concerts and fairs, and but the anxiety was too much. I couldn't do it.
Okay. So this is kind of what we were talking about last week, and you had mentioned previous experiences. One was like at a wedding or something like that, where you felt kind of the same way. What kind of things in your mind are you going through when you're having these thoughts? Like what kind of things specifically are you thinking to yourself?
I'm thinking, I'll just use the fair. I was thinking first that, they oversold the tickets, so I was angry. And then that I was waiting in all these lines for the rides, and it was taking forever. And then there was just so many people around me. I felt like I was being smothered. And that if there was an accident or if like someone was hurt, that like I would get trampled over if people were trying to get out of this park. And I was so anxious. And I was getting sweaty, and my stomach was hurting. My heart was pounding. I felt like it was going to pound out of my chest. It was.
And those bodily reactions that you were feeling, they're uncomfortable, and it sounds like that the thoughts that you're experiencing are kind of driving that uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
Would you say that's kind of accurate?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, the kind of therapeutic intervention I think that would be really beneficial for you and for us in our working together. It's called acceptance and commitment therapy. Have you ever heard of that, or ACT for short?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, I think the best way to kind of explain it is actually through a little demonstration. It's a little quick demonstration. Try to reframe it so you understand kind of what we're going to be trying to accomplish here in our meetings.
Okay.
Would you be open to trying?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's take this book here. Would you mind holding this up to your face? Just really close, like right up to your face. Yeah.
Okay. Is it clean?
It's clean. It is clean. So. Picture this book. I want you to try to picture this book as best you can as the thoughts that you were talking about people being near your feet and wanting to leave the situation because fear of being trampled, that kind of stuff. Okay. Can you try to do that? Can you try to picture that? Okay. So as that's up in front of your face, do you think having a conversation like right now is it weird? Is it awkward, or
it's awkward? I can't focus on anything.
Right. Like even if you tried to read the cover of that book, do you think you would be able to?
No, it's all a blur.
Right. So the point here is trying to get you to understand that, like, everything outside, me included, you could represent as something that's fun for you or something that has made you happy in the past. So the fair, for example, we were talking about how that was, you really wanted to go to this fair and you had friends there and for the concert at the fair.
Yeah.
And if it's like this, those thoughts are really crippling your ability to enjoy that, really.
Yeah.
So
No, that makes a lot of sense. I can see that.
what would you say is the instinctive response to this being in front of your face? What would you do?
To push it away,
To
move it.
To move it, to get it out of your way, right?
Yeah.
So let's demonstrate that. You want to hold the book firmly in front of you, like this,
Okay.
and resist against my hand.
Okay. Move.
The book's a little shaken. You're in a chair, but
Yeah.
how's this feel? What does this feel like?
Uncomfortable, and it's like I'm struggling
Right.
to keep
so
it away.
It's a strain on you,
Yeah.
I would say. Okay.
My arms are getting.
Yeah. Could you do this for a long time? Do you think?
No, my arms would go numb.
Yeah. And then eventually you may be able to get it out of there. But what happens if you do? What normally would happen if you were able to avoid that situation? What would you say normally happens?
I mean, like if this was me going to the fair like that, I wouldn't go.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to do those things.
Right. But then the next situation could come up where this would do what?
Be right back in my face.
Right. So they come back is kind of the point I'm trying to get here.
Yeah.
So now, let's try laying that book in your lap. And just letting it sit there and just kind of...
Okay.
And we're back to having a conversation. Is it awkward anymore?
No.
Are you able to maybe attend to certain things? Are you able to look around and do things that you might have enjoyed, like going to the fair?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, this is kind of the whole point, is to get you to kind of see that something like anxiety it's completely normal, it's completely common for people to have, and it's something that we can work on together, I think, and by recognizing that it's still near you, it's still there, and times are going to come up where you may feel anxious.
Okay.
But by laying them down on your lap, you're still able to enjoy life and do things that have meaning for you.
Okay.
So that's kind of the whole act in a nutshell, really. It's to get you to understand that accepting normal, there's a wide range of emotions, whether it be fear, anxiety, anger, basically so many different emotions, and trying to accept that those emotions are there, and then to work on moving towards a life that has meaning, and being able to do things that you used to enjoy, and not be kind of controlled by something like anxiety.
No, that makes a lot of sense too.
Right. So I think as a first step, maybe in the next meeting, we can maybe go over some worksheet assignments and stuff in ACT that we can work on, and maybe talk about mindfulness too, which will be really, I think, really important for you to get to learn.
That sounds great.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Steph.
Thank you.
I'll see you next week.
Sounds great.